What's going on, YouTubers? This is Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today I'm going to show you my haul for the month of October of 2018. So please stay tuned. Okay, so before we get started, a huge shout out to Ted. Thank you very much. I know you didn't want to shout out, but I had to. This is Terry Moore's limited edition Echo, and it is signed by him. And there's a nice note from Ted. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. This is a huge, rare book, and it was one of my whales that I was looking for, and he was kind enough to send it to me. So thank you very much, Ted. And on that same note, Thomas, all the way from overseas, found out I had never read Elephant Man, and he sent me the first 2 volumes of the hardcovers. So thank you very much, Thomas. Now, you probably started something that I'm going to have to end, because if I end up liking this, I'm going to have to go and find the other hardcovers, and I know some of them are out of print. So, no, seriously, thank you very much. This was really kind of you guys. I'm very humbled. And I got this from Fangirls. This is Hench Girl. This is Hench Girl by Kristen Goodsnuck. I hope I am not butchering her last name. That would be horrible. And I have never read any of this, but apparently it's really good. So I will have to check this out. Let's see. As far as my hauls, I picked up some comic books because I haven't done that in quite a while, but one of the local stores had some kind of scare fest thing going. And so all the recent comic books were $1 each. So I picked up Bully Wars #1 and then a couple issues of Batman and Thor. It's been a while since I've read these, and this is new Scotty Young, and I'm a huge fan of his artwork, so I had to get that. I'm hoping that they release an Omnibus Volume 2 of Fabian Nicieza and Derek Robertson's run. The first volume gave us all the way up to issue 26, and this is a continuation of that volume, because this collects New Warrior 27 through 36, and then it collects the 4 issues of Night Thrasher, Annual number 3, and then one of the holiday specials. So I'm hoping that because this will sell out, right, that they will say, hey, we'll go ahead and do an omnibus of New Warriors Volume 2. It'd be awesome if they collect the rest of the series. Probably the greatest Fabian Nicieza work that he ever produced. If you've never read it, try to find the omnibus or try to find the trade paperbacks of the first few volumes. This is not the best place to start. Flash by Mark Waid, Volume 5. Yes, we still got these coming out, and I believe Volume 6 was solicited. So, come on, DC, don't you dare cancel this series on me. This is one of my favorite, probably my second favorite Flash run. Second to only Jeff Johns. And Jeff Johns just took the mythos that Mark Waid created and, oh shit, ran with it. God, sorry. Didn't even plan for that joke. But he finished out what Mark Waid kind of started. And it's got gorgeous art by Humberto Ramos. If you like Humberto Ramos, this is some of his earlier work with the crossover of Impulse. And yes, I'm still pissy that they canceled Impulse Omnibus Volume 1. How dare you, DC? How dare you? So, I think there should be a total of 8 or 9 of these once they finish collecting all of Mark Waid's run. Because he came back after he took off for a while. And this is a new hardcover by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This is My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. I have not read this yet. But if you look at it, it is not, let's do this, your typical hardcover size. It is the size of a trade paperback, the dimensions are. So it's a little bit smaller than your average Image hardcover. So I don't know if this is a one-time one-shot or if they're going to collect the rest of the series in an oversized hardcover. But I know this is the first time they're doing a straight-to-graphic novel, so this was not released in a comic book format. This is the only way that it's been released. And since these are 2 of my favorite creators, I went ahead and ordered it. So I will be reading this because it doesn't look like it's that big. Probably, I would say about 60-something pages, if that. Continuing the overhyped apocalyptic zombie saga that is Walking Dead. I don't know why I still read this book. It's not like it's that great, but I do like the princess character that was introduced here. It's a lot better than the TV show, but that's really not saying much. And am I the only one still buying this? Please leave in the comments down below. Let me know if you're still purchasing these books. I don't really care about any of these characters except Michonne. And there's some revelations in here that happen about her and her past, so I guess I'll keep reading. I took advantage of the In Stock Trades damage sale, and I got a bunch of DC stuff. Some of them these are the ones that I was hoping were going to be released in hardcover editions, but then I was like, I'll just go ahead and get the trade paperbacks in the hopes that the oversized hardcovers would come out, but I waited about 2 years, so that's long enough. The only one that's kind of damaged is this one here, because you can see in the corner where it got dinged up, but everything else looks immaculate. So I got Titans, which I've read only the first few issues of. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Teen Titans, so I've only read the first few issues of this. And I think the artist on this, if I'm not mistaken, left after just 2 issues. And that was John Boy Myers. And then I got issues of Titans, which I've kind of kept up with this, because I'm a big fan of Dan Abnett. But I haven't read anything from this volume here, volume 4. But I did get to read the Lasser's Contract, which is a crossover. So I went ahead and got the Lasser's Contract trade paperback because the Deathstroke issues and the one-shot aren't collected in the Titans trade paperbacks, even though it's a crossover. And let's see, and here's volume 1. I think it's one of the most underrated series that DC is publishing. I'd like to see if it still holds, though, because, like I said, I haven't read any of Volume 4 yet. And we got some Marvel comics. We've got Thor Epic. This is Volume 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. 5! I was mistaken. And this collects Thor 175 to 194. So you get about 20 issues worth of stuff. Again, the Epic collection is the way that I love to collect these things. It's affordable, and you get a huge chunk of story that's not in black and white. I mean, it's not an oversized format, but just look how thick that is. This is well worth it if you've never read it, and if you're interested in this time period that's the Silver Age of Marvel. And I have not read any of this stuff here. I don't think. Yeah, because I finished reading Volume 4 a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, I guess I'll get started on this probably around Christmas time. Take a break. And now, let's see, what's next? Guardians of the Galaxy. If you want to see a full review of this, I'm doing one on Omnibus. This was sent by In Stock Trades. And that will be coming out tomorrow, Monday. And we will be talking about it, whether it's worth getting this run or not. This is the new run. This is the post-Bendis stuff. This is by Gary Duggan. And Cooter and Marcos Toe, I think, did the art on it. Also got this at an In Stock Trades half-off sale, and I think it's just because of this little bit of scuff right there, and it was the damage sale. So, Volume 2, Irredeemable. According to a good friend of mine, Jess Bragg, Omnidog, this is one of the greatest Mark Waid stories ever. There are 5 volumes, even though volumes 4 and 5 are getting almost impossible to find, so I'm hoping for reprints of those because I just started getting these this past summer. I read Volume 1, cannot wait to dive into Volume 2. The final volume of The Haunt of Fear is here, and it is extremely thin. It is cheaper than the other ones. I believe this is $39.99, and I think the other ones were $50. So it only contains 4 issues. It's the final issues of The Haunt of Fear before they were canceled due to the Comics Code, of course. And this collects The Haunt of Fear issues 25 through 28. Let me show you some of the art. I know I've shown these in my hauls before, but just so you know what you're getting into, they have been recolored in this digital color that some people hate, but I think it's okay. I got used to it. It's not the classic colors, but it's also not in black and white, and I'd rather have them like this than black and white. I know people probably will argue with me on that, but I think the digital colors they're really well done. And I think they got a lot more hate than they deserve. Because if you can see, they don't touch the original colors of the covers. It's just the internal work that they touch. So you can probably tell the difference from this to something like this. But the EC Horror Collection, or the EC Collection, some of the best comic books out there. Or some of the best reading, not just comic books out there. And if you've never tried them, I suggest you do. Oh, hell yeah. Here's some more weird fantasy. I wonder if they'll finish the Haunted, or what is it, Vault of Horror. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Volume 5. Vault of Horror coming out probably December 2018. Awesome. That will finish out that set. So this is the last one until they start reprinting some of the earlier stuff. One Piece, Volume 73. I believe they are up to Volume 82 by now. So I got about 9 to 10 volumes to catch up on. And I can't wait. This is one of those manga that just delivers every single time for me. I love this stuff. Now, this is a good little book here. This was previously released as just the Magneto trade paperback, and this is the Magneto War crossover. It collects a lot of the Alan Davis stuff, so X-Men 85 to 91, and then the annual 99. Let's see what else. Uncanny X-Men 366 to 371, Magneto War #1, Magneto Rex 1 through 3, and probably, let's see, what is this, X-Men Universe. I know it collects an issue of X-Men Unlimited. I think it's number 23, and I think it also collects material from 24. So this is really nice that we finally got this. So this takes place after X-Men Gold and X-Men Blue and the X-Men The Shattering. And so right before the Revolution Omnibus. It's all collected in here because this original trade paperback had been long out of print. And this collects a lot more than this did. Now we got Detective Comics Volume 3. This is the Rebirth Deluxe Edition. I'm not sure if they're going to go through a name change or what the next volume will be called, but I really hope that they keep continuing this tradition because I love these oversized hardcovers. So this collects Detective Comics 963 to 973 and annual #1. Probably one of the most smallest, slimmest collections of Rebirth Deluxe hardcovers that I've gotten. And we'll flip through through here in case you have not read some of the stuff. I love these throwback covers based on The Lonely Place of Dying, which is one of my favorite Batman comics. Doomsday, interesting. And got return of some older characters from the Batman Villains Gallery, so I'm always hyped for that. I hope that the format of this book doesn't change when it goes to a new writer. Now, this next book I have a love-hate relationship with. If you've seen my overview of the Amazing Spider-Man and oversized hardcover and omnibus editions, you know why. And that is because this book only collects Amazing Spider-Man 794 to 801. I did a whole overview, so you're more than welcome to look at that. And the reason I hate it is because it orphaned about 8 issues of the story. So those are just sitting out there in trade paperback format. They did not collect these in oversized hardcover. So those 8 issues in between this and Worldwide 3, I have no idea if Marvel's ever going to put into an oversized hardcover. So I'm sure if 20 years from now when they announce an omnibus, I'll probably be double dipping if I'm still into these editions. Okay, something that I have talked about. Yeah, I did an overview of Volume 1 and 2 of Thor, so if you're interested in that, please click on the link above. That little card. And this wraps up the Dan Jurgens stuff from the Heroes Return era. And I also did an overview of the Colossal Conan, the Cimmerian. This is the follow-up to the original Colossal Conan. If you want to look at that overview, just click on the link above. That one, yeah. I go into just a little more detail about the build of the book and what's collected in here. Have I mentioned how much I love in-stock trades damage sales? I think I have. So these next 4 books I'm going to show you all came from the damage sale, and they all have different little things about them, or some of them don't even have anything wrong with them. This is the only thing I see. This is the Ghost in the Shell, the complete edition, all box set, hardcovers from Kodansha. I, for some reason, didn't pick this up, and I will tell you, I know probably most YouTubers have already talked about this part, but if you're wondering if this is the unrated version by Masami Shiro, no, it's not. The whole lesbian sex action that happens in issue 2, not in this. This is the way that it was always printed in English. I believe there's a small run of one that was unrated, that was translated into English, but I never got my hands on it, so not a big deal. I mean, it's 2 pages of gratuitous sex. What the hell's wrong with me? Yes, I hate when they alter art for, you know, educational purposes. So, anyway, I got these. This was awesome because it was 50% off, and it contains all 3 of the Ghost in the Shell hardcovers. I think he's got another one coming out, so it's got Part 1, 1.5, which has some more. This was done years later, but it's got some more of that awesome Masami Shiro artwork. And Part 2. let's look at this a little bit. And like I said, he's got another one in the works, I believe. Now, with these releases, I hope they go back and do all his stuff in hardcover. Damn, is the whole thing? Nope, it's not. I thought it was in color. I've never read part 2. I hope they go back and do all his other stuff, like Appleseed, Orion, and books like that, Dominion Tank Police, in hardcover, because his artwork is just gorgeous, and I hope they reprint some of those Intro and Depot books that have been out of print. That would be awesome. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of his artwork. You get a nice little card as well. That was nice. Little mini poster, I guess. Alright, I waited long enough to get this, so I saw that it was damaged. So with the extra discount, it was like 60% off, and I had 3% off of that on top. So I had to get the Absolute Death, because I already own all the other Absolute Sandman books. Well, except for this and Overture, which I'll talk about here in a second. I saw damage to the outer box that this was shipped in, and that was it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this book. So I'm glad I got this and I waited for it, because I already owned it in deluxe hardcover, but, you know, I'm OCD about this stuff. I had to have it in absolute format. This is Chris Bachalo's artwork. This is Mark Buckingham artwork. Oversized format is the way to go. And it's one of my all-time favorite little miniseries. So this collects probably just about everything that was in that deluxe hardcover, and just a few more things. Like, yeah, these pages here in the back with pinup artwork. Now, this one was only 50% off, and only 6 issues. So I can't believe I bought this, because I already own the deluxe hardcover. But this is Sandman Overture, a sequel, prequel kind of thing to Sandman, but written by Neil Gaiman. And with, I mean, how could I not get J.H. Williams artwork in oversized format? This is beautiful. And yes, this one was $125, but it was 50% off. I jumped the gun, because I'm like, well, I'm already getting an Absolute Death. This will make a nice little bookend to the rest of the Absolute Sandman series. Now I just got to make room. So yeah, I know I'm a few months behind on this, because I thought about it. Then I'm like, all right, let's just go ahead and do it. And here's one of those. Let's do this justice by standing up. Books kind of like the Wildcats book I showed you guys by Jim Lee. There's a few pages like that in here. Here's another book that I thought about, and I'm like, sure, let's jump the gun and do it. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. Came from the damage sale, and I can't tell what's wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It's immaculate, just about. And this is Runaways, one of my favorite Brian K. Vaughan series. Now, a Hulu series. This is what it's based on. And if you've never read Runaways, yeah, top 3 favorite Brian K. Vaughan series. It's damn amazing. And this is the series that introduced me to Adrian Alphonse, the artist, which I adore his artwork. He's on Miss Marvel now. So, group of runaways that find out their parents were supervillains, and they decide to, run away from home, and then discover what kind of powers they have, and their lives are turned upside down when some mysteries are brought to light, and I just enjoy it. I love the characters. Every one of these characters. And yeah, you even get a little cameo there when they're trying to bring sales up of Wolverine. But this is the entire Brian K. Vaughan stuff. And to me, the only one worth reading, because I have tried and tried. Joss Whedon, Terry Moore, G. Willow, every one of them have tried to write a good Runaway story. And for some reason, I don't know. I guess it's just a Brian K. Vaughan thing. Now, the final thing I picked up, not on sale, but not on damage sale. Harley Quinn, Volume 2. Let's look at the inside. It's kind of disappointing. Can't remember if Volume 1 was like that or not. And this is continuing the New 52 Harley Quinn. And apparently there's going to be 3 of these. So this collects Harley Quinn issues 17 through 30, a few of the miniseries, the DC sneak previews, the specials, and I think the little black book special. So the 3rd one will finish out the rest of the New 52 series. The only thing I will say about this one is that it's got a tight bind. Look, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. For an omnibus this size, this binding just doesn't help. mean, it's okay, but it's not like others I've seen, especially from DC recently. Let's look through here. Some more artwork. I can't believe they got Neil Adams to do one of the specials, like the Muhammad Ali versus Superman special. And here's some of the covers, which Harley Quinn is known for having some of the best variant covers. And damn, that is a lot. So I'm glad they decided to do all 3 volumes. So volume 3 should be coming out sometime next year. Hasn't been solicited yet. And that was it. That's my haul. I'd love to know what you guys have picked up. Please let me know in the comments down below, or what you plan on buying in November. Did you get any damaged sales, or did you run across some holy grail that you were looking for? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear stories. Don't forget to check out our weekly show that comes out every Thursday, and on Tuesdays we have Old Reader, New Readers, and they are live episodes where we discuss a comic book that has come out in the past that I have read, and my new readers have read it for the first time. So we'd love for you guys to join us for that, and that is at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on this channel on Tuesdays. Again, this was Omar. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day.